Today was a big moment for Prime Minister Liz Truss. After a honeymoon from hell with the economy smouldering around her, a chance to possibly reclaim the faith of the nation in her big conference speech. Well, moving on up is a bizarre choice for a soundtrack, isn't it? Because they certainly are moving up. Inflation, energy prices, mortgage rates, debt, not to mention Keir Starmer's poll ratings. Also, the people that originally sang that song all vote Labour. The writer has been particularly rude about the Tories, and it contains lyrics about packing your bags, baby, and going. Well, Truss's advisers briefed in advance that she'd arrive on stage to a 90s classic. End of the Road would have been my choice. And by the end of it, maybe don't speak. The slogan plastered behind her says, getting Britain moving. Well, it's certainly moving, but into a recession. But to be fair to Liz Truss, she was very clear about how she's going to fix the unholy mess she has created in probably the worst first month of any PM in history.
I have three priorities for our economy: growth, growth, and growth.
Grown, grown, and grown. Utterly meaningless blather, but also rather familiar meaningless blather.
We need three things: growth, growth, growth.
I mean, you know you're in trouble when you're plundering Keir Starmer speeches for dynamic inspiration. And for those of us who were hoping for some detail, well, this is about as much as we got.
And for too long, the political debate has been dominated by the argument about how we distribute a limited economic pie. Instead, we need to grow the pie so that everyone gets a bigger slice.
I love a big pie, Miss Truss, but pies don't grow. They're just the same size that they start as. She did at least appear to have made friends with her Chancellor, who crawled out from under the large bus that she's been throwing him under all week.
And that's why our dynamic new Chancellor and I will be taking action in three areas. First of all, we will lower...
Hooray! We tanked the economy! Whoopee! Whoop! Boom! Really? What's so funny? What's the joke? You sent people's mortgages rocketing. The Bank of England had to bail out £65 billion to save the pension schemes. The pound tanked to a record low against the dollar. What is so funny? Why are any of you people laughing? What is dynamic about what Kwasi Kwarteng has done, other than it's the single most dynamic, terrible start to any chancellorship ever? It says an awful lot that the biggest cheer of the day came at this moment. That's right, it was for the security guards kicking out the protesters from Greenpeace, or as Liz Truss calls them, the anti-growth coalition, because anyone who disagrees with her is anti-growth, even though everything she's done so far has led to the opposite of growth. The sad truth is that nothing has been more anti-growth than Liz Truss's premiership. Today, she basically told us to strap in and get ready for more of the same kind of chaos. She said we'll grow the economy, but doesn't tell us how we're going to grow it or how she's going to pay for it. She said she'll cut the national debt, but also that we'll borrow and spend more. None of this makes any sense. We all want and need the government to turn this around. We'd all love to have gigantic tax cuts, but that's not how these things work in a cost of living crisis of this magnitude. And sadly, right now, it looks like the best way to get Britain moving is to get Miss Truss moving out of number 10.